applications.
Yes, Mr. Ombeta.
Yes. Let me start by first of all saying this. On the day this judgment was passed, when the accused person came to this court, probably was very hopeful that he was going to go home that day. And probably when he left home, he must have informed the family that he's going to come back home. But this did not happen. The court had made its finding. And today, you have the second accused person sitting here before you. The court has convicted him. In essence, what has it done to him, Your Honor? It has deflated him. You will notice from the time that he has been coming to court, the kind of confidence that he has been exhibiting when he comes to this court. Today it is not there. Today when you look at him, he is a broken man. He accepts the findings, but still wants to touch your heart and wants to plead with you. That you exercise, as you are doing this justice, you also exercise some mercy. And this, Your Honor, as we extend our hands towards your heart, we know it is in your discretion. Every single moment ever since he was charged for this offense, Your Honor, he has regretted that these events came to pass. And when somebody comes and tells you he's regretting, Your Honor, what do? You look at him with mercy. You side with him for a moment. And you listen to his pleas. When these offenses occurred, starting from the year 2009, he was not a member of parliament at that time. He was running a business. So at that particular time, when he was involved in these transactions, Your Honor, he never knew that a day like this would come, and it has dawned today. But thereafter, he became a member of parliament. So he becomes a member of parliament. What does that show you, Your Honor? It shows you that the people on the ground, on the constituency we come from, have a reason to have put him there. And that is because they trust him, they like him, and they believe in him. So if you are to take that side, Your Honor, don't you think that you can also believe in him and see that he can be a better person to be? And therefore, if you think so, if you side with us for a moment, then you'd want to consider what we are saying, that an uncustodial sentence would be appropriate. And when you look at Penal Code, section 35(1), you have the discretion to discharge him. That section does not say only which particular offenses. It says you can discharge a person. But then you also give him conditions. And one of the conditions is that he does not commit an offense for the next 1 year or the next 12 months. Please, Your Honor, we are requesting that you look at it. We are humbly asking that this is something that you can be able to extend to the accused persons. And this, we are not demanding, Your Honor. Please, we are on bended knee. We are not demanding. We are requesting. And we know that, and Your Honor, just when we come to court here, we always hope that by the time you're coming to court, the court will also be in that particular mood to be able to extend this to us. So sometimes you pray that will the court wake up on the left side or the right side of the bed? And we're believing that we are on the right side today, Your Honor. We still want to touch your heart. But Your Honor, if you are to look at that section, and then you also have to look at Article 50 of the Constitution, Article 52P. It is a right which we are not demanding, but it's a right today we are begging, Your Honor. We are not demanding for it, we are begging that you give us the most lenient sentence, and that is provided for in the fundamental rights. It is provided for. Again, for that one, we are on bended knee, and we are saying, give us the lenient. Then that article, what does it say also? You look at the age, and this is not a young man. You look at the circumstances, and you'll find one thing, Your Honor. He has come to court regularly, religiously. That is why he respects this court, and he knows what his duty was to court. Your Honor, is that a kind of person that you'd want today to lock up? He has no previous antecedents. Shows you then, this is a good man. Today, would you want to lock up a good man? And we are hoping that you will be siding with us and saying no. He is a person who has worked in the civil service, and my colleague mentioned it. He was a corporal before he became a major in the army. How do you get to become a major? Not because you are a bad person, but because you are effective and you are doing your duty well and you have no bad record. Please put that into consideration. When he became a major and the time he retired, it is because he was a good person. So you have two instances where he's become a member of parliament by being a good person and also being rising to the rank of the major by being a good person. So let's come to the issue then. How does this affect him? In as much as he is discredited, in as much as he has been punctured, he has a family. You've been told this family depends on him, but much more than that. If you let him go home today, if you were to allow him an uncustodial sentence, what would happen? You'd be having a good person going to inform the people at home of why you should obey the law. So you'll be having a good teacher. You'll be having a good example. You'll be having a good man going back home and talking to people. Not only his family, but the constituency, the people who depend on him. If today you lock him up, his salary is not there anymore. He's locked up completely. Then the family suffers. Let's look at the remoteness of it. What happens to the family? The students are in college, they will stop going. They are depending on him, they'll have nobody to depend on. The small grandchildren who will be giving some grandfatherly advice will not have him in the presence. The damage will be even much bigger. Please allow him to live. Your Honor, if then you were to observe that Article 50, then it will bring us to Article 20 of the Constitution, whereby the court is bound by these details. But today we are not asking you to be bound. Today we are asking you to look at it in a way that wants to favor us. And all state organs in Article 21 must want to also look at it that way. But by looking at it in Article 21, or wanting to look at it in a favorable manner, in a way that wants to promote it, it also says you must consider the elderly, the vulnerable, the children, and everybody else. And these accused persons fall in that category. Your Honor, one of my colleagues has said that if you put the accused person in custody, probably it will be a slow death. Yes. And one of the cases that we had and we had pleaded at some time back, it was the Gakuo case. We tried so much to plead that he could be released. But he died in custody. He was old, he was unwell. And what am I saying by this one? You have been given medical documents to show you that the accused person is actually unwell. If he's unwell and is before you, would you want to look at him sympathetically? We are saying, please do. Because why? He is capable of being rehabilitated. With that medical condition and he's out here, he can be able to step forward and do. But if he's in custody, Your Honor, then you'll have nobody to come and after this sentence to exist. Your Honor, if you have then looked at that Article 20 and then you have looked at 21, please, Your Honor, allow me to just mention that in as much as he has been convicted, he still has some dignity to maintain.
Please proceed.
Yes, there is dignity is as a result of being a member of parliament. He then has a social standing in society. Today, if you let him go, he still has that part that he can be able to stand with that dignity and be able to talk to anybody else, his constituents, his family, and everybody else. Today, my dear Honor, allow him to go. Many of us here today will not boast of not having committed any other offense, including alcohol, and I know some of my friends keep on getting arrested. But
Are you confessing?
sorry,
Are you confessing to some offense?
I'm seeking protection. He's looking on my side.
Okay, let me not look at him, but they will not be able to even stand with a candle before him. But he has not been arrested for any offense, for any commitment, nothing at all. He is clean until this particular incident. Your Honor, because of that, because of what he has done for this society, for being in the army, for help working for this country, please, Your Honor, please consider that. We are but Your Honor, what makes me feel a little bit, let me put it this way because it's my last point. I have a family. I'm trying to just put it in context. And most of us here would have family, we have children. What happens? Anytime you have a child and he gets hurt, you rush to the rescue of the child and you feel the pain for the child as well. The accused person has a parent, the mother, who is now 80 years old, is it? 80 years old. I'm looking at you, Your Honor, and I'm imagining also as being a parent, these are sentiments that you feel. Today, let me just allow me to step out of the law for a moment, only on sentiments. His mother for 80 years has been there for him, stood for him. Spare her that moment. Why? Because you can take up that burden, not only for a parental responsibility, but to spare him, to spare the mother, that moment of anguish and pain if he is ever taken into custody. That is what I am saying.
Please proceed. I think that area was covered by Mr.
Yes,
Jaberi.
yes. I think I have finished it.